Hello everyone and welcome back to the Planet Protectors live stream. Tonight is Planet Protectors 2-year anniversary. Technically it's on Thursday, but the episode, they're every Tuesday, so we're celebrating tonight. And if you can see this too right here, it's cardboard. Tonight is a special anniversary episode, of course, and we also are talking about acid rain. So we're going to learn a bit more about that. Like, what is it? Well, we're going to find out. We also have a brand new segment being revealed tonight, so that's exciting too. Now, tonight's riddle is a little bit easier, but hey, it's still a riddle, so let's hear it. What can never be put in the saucepan? The answer will be revealed at the end of the show, and that is when you can submit your answers. Now let's start this special anniversary episode. For the main topic of acid rain, we'll be looking at the who, what, where, when, why, and how of it. Let's start with a question of what is acid rain? Now let me get a picture of it loaded up for you. There. Now that's not the actual rain, but that's something that the acid rain has done to that forest. Okay. So acid rain is essentially precipitation that can come in forms of rain, snow, fog, and even some dry materials. Large amounts of acid rain include nitric and sulfuric. It sounds pretty straightforward, right? Well, there was an article that I saw, and you guys probably saw it in the news as well, that there is an area in the world that recently just got a big volcanic eruption, and they say that acid rain may follow that. So eruptions, they erupt, they release all of these gases. It's a bit of like a gas factory. And those gases mix with the clouds and bam, there's acid rain. So yeah, pretty straightforward like that. So that's, what we're kind of expecting to see in that area. Okay, so now let's learn a bit more about why it started, who started it, and where did it start. And I guess when did it start as well. So the who and why will join us later. So acid rain started in the US in the late 1950s, and it started in Canada in the 1980s. Fun fact, acid rain can destroy paint jobs on cars as well. Oh, fun fact for you right there. I'm going to share another picture of acid rain and really what it's done. So you can see that used to be like a fully formed thing, and acid rain really got down to it. So why did acid rain start? Well, the root of the acid rain is humans, with us polluting fossil fuels into the atmosphere. When things like factories and vehicles release nitric and sulfuric dioxides into the atmosphere, they interact with oxygen and water, and those dioxides become acids. So you don't need to, here, I'll make myself bigger. It's a picture from a book, so you don't need to be able to read it. But essentially, these are the factories. They emit some of those gases into the atmosphere. They can mix with some of the clouds. They mix some of the clouds and then go into to precipitation forms. Something else that they can do is they just kind of fall and they're dry. And we'll talk about what it does to soil and ecosystems in a little bit. But that's essentially what happens. Okay, so they interact with oxygen and water, and those dioxides become acids. Wind can also spread these toxic chemicals around the globe, but in the end, they will end up in different ecosystems. Now, the rain affects ecosystems by making water poisonous, and therefore killing the aquatic animals and some land animals depend on. So, yeah, it's not a very good story. I'm gonna share the picture again. There we go, I'll do that one again. So also some of the dry stuff and the wet stuff, the precipitation, sinks into the soil. And at first it makes it unhealthy, and then the plants and animals They just end up dying there. It has killed off lakes and forests in the past. It is also not very good for humans' health. Acid rain has been known to cause asthma and bronchitis, or worsen those respiratory issues. So really, it's all in all just not very good. But there is hope. Really the only way to stop this ongoing problem is to reduce greenhouse gases, because that is essentially where this issue is coming from. So a few things that you can do now is to drive less, shop local, and something that's more winter related is to turn down your thermostat and wear a sweater if it's by half a degree or a degree. Those things make a difference on your energy bill, and they just use less resources. So that was a very interesting main topic. Now let's go on to this week's climate news. And this week's climate news is all about cities. Here it is. Here's the article, and here's what it was called. Singapore is building a forest town with abundant green spaces and underground roads. That was written by Natalie Merchant and was published by the World Economic Fund. Now, just so you know, this article was written in April of 2021. I know, pretty old, but still, it's interesting news. So, we're still going to do it. Okay, let's get a picture of this project. There we go. Okay, so there's an area in Singapore called Tengah that has 42,000 different homes and is an eco-development, as the Economic Forum says. Although there is a boundary of forest around Tengah, which is around 100 meters wide, animals can go in and out of the city as they please. The development only has cars and parking underground, so like the roads and the major things. It looks like there's a little road over there, but the majority of them are underground. So the top is open for biking, walking, and I don't know if there's public transit on there. There might be, but I don't know. They just want to make it a more eco-friendly surface, I guess. So yeah, also more space for plants to grow. The street lights turn on when they sense people and turn off when there's no one around. And there's also an AC system that almost eliminates CO2. And there's an app that people who live in the condos there can control and see all of the water usage they're using, all of the electricity. It's a very interesting and very, technical. There's a lot of technology in this area. And they say the apartments will be ready by next year. So it's still kind of current news because they're still building it. Singapore is definitely one of the most sustainable areas to live in. Now, we are going to go on to our new segment. Ooh, this is big. So this segment, I'm pretty sure will be used in every episode for the rest of the season because it's able to do that. And if you liked the EcoPot, you are definitely going to like this. Okay, the new segment is Eco Daily. Now, this is another random segment like the EcoPot, and here's how it works. I have a calendar right here, and it has different ways to stay eco for every single day of the year. And each day of the live stream, I'll show the daily one and some interesting ones that I've seen for the past week. So I had a few weeks to see, and I found some very interesting ones. So I'm going to save my favorite one for later. So today's eco tip, here it is, January 25th. Looking to calculate your carbon footprint, it's heavily based on your daily travel, the energy you use in your home, how much money you spend shopping, and the consumption of your diet. You can enter this info on nature.org to get a full overview. So I guess you can go into nature.org and they have a little carbon footprint calculator for you. Also, an interesting fact they have here is 500 million straws are thrown away every day. And using a laptop with the charger plugged in results in twice as much energy consumption. Unplug your charger during laptop usage and save both energy and money on your next electric bill. Now, this really only works for laptops, but yeah, I say as my computer is plugged in so it doesn't die when we are doing the live stream and it's open. Maybe I'll unplug that. Yeah, there we go. It's fine. Okay, so this is my favorite eco tip. I don't have it here right now, but imagine an Nalgene water bottle or just a water bottle. By peeing in the shower, you can save about 4,379 liters of water every year. So that's interesting, which translates to 1,157 gallons of water. So it's all the flushing of the toilet. So if you do, take a little pee when you're in the shower, you can save a lot of water. So I'm not saying you should, but more sustainable, I should say. Well, that was a great new segment. Let's give it on up for a new segment. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah! Okay, so we will see next week's Eco Daily next week. All right, now we're going on to Did You Know? This week's fact is one that I found very interesting. Here it is. Did you know how wood frogs survive in the winter? Now, this is an interesting one. So, now the wood frog is a frog that lives across Canada and in some parts of the United States. Now these frogs have the ability to freeze 60% of their body like an icicle. I wouldn't lick them though. Here is a picture of one of them in their frozen state in the winter. You can see the frost and snow on them. Usually they have a bit more frost on them. Okay, so now let's talk about how this is even possible. Well, these frogs have chemicals that defend their bodies from the cold, and their cells don't freeze. Here's a little fun fact about them. In the Captain America movie, Captain America is able to be frozen and not die, and people say that that idea came from none other than the wood frog, the one we're talking about today. So that's interesting. It has a little Marvel connection there. Very cool. So that was a shorter Did You Know fact, but we have a few more things to get to tonight. Okay. Of course, we have the animal of the week as always, but we also have something to acknowledge. We have the elephant in the room. I don't know if you can see that with some of the comments, but it is a 2, an Earth 2. It has been 2 years of planar protectors, and a lot has happened. I still have the very first email I sent from Planet Protectors. Of course, back then it was called Eco Parkinson's, but here is what it said. Wondering who the next Eco Parkinson is? Because it might be you. If you complete 4 weeks of these days below, you do the days 4 times, of course. In Finnish, you'll become the first Eco Parkinson. And then there's a little checklist and the days from Group A. So yeah, it has been that long, and also we did little trophies. So if you came in 2nd place for that, you got this Eco Warrior medal. That's made out of like a recycled cap. And then if you did it all, you got the Eco Warrior trophy. Can you read that? Eco. There we go. It used to look a little different. It used to look like... Where is it? That's what it used to look like. It said Eco Warrior. But as the name changed, I just changed it to Eco. Okay, so thank you. I want to thank you all for all of your support with Planar Protectors and 2 years. Happy birthday, Planar Protectors. So I did not think it would get to this point. Everything that Planar Protectors has accomplished is amazing, so thank you all for your support. It really would not have been possible without you, so thank you so much, and I'm so happy that it came to this point, that we got to do, what episode of the live stream? I think this is episode 54 of the live stream, I want to say. Yeah, I think it is 54. So thank you all so much. And this isn't the real 2-year anniversary. It's actually on Thursday. So there will be a few Instagram posts on that. So if at the end of the day you're like, I might want to check that out, there will be stuff posted there. So we have you covered on that. All right, well, that was good to appreciate. 2 years. I cannot wait until year 3. All right, now this is going to be our last segment of the show. It is, as always, Animal of the Week. This week's animal is one that is found in Africa, and many people would not consider this animal to live in a cold place. Maybe in a warm place. They'd probably think it would live in a colder place, like maybe Antarctica. Do you know what animal I'm talking about? Well, if you do, then if you guessed the African penguin, you are correct. I was surprised I hadn't done this in 54 episodes, but here they are. Okay, it's the African penguin, aka the Cape penguin. These mammals have a lifespan of 20 years old and live in the rocky islands of southern Africa. This type of penguin can hold their breaths for up to 2.5 minutes and are usually 2 feet tall. They can weigh up to 8 pounds. They are black and white so they can camouflage into their natural rocky environment. Their predators include feral cats, mongoose, and gulls. When they're mating, they tend to make noises that sound like donkeys and have been nicknamed something that I can't necessarily say on the live stream. Just think of another word for donkeys. Unfortunately, these penguins are endangered because of fishing, climate change, and pollution. In fact, their total population numbers have gone down 60% since 1980. There's still a chance to save these creatures, though. We can encourage more people to help sign more protest and close fisheries, donate and volunteer for organizations that are protecting these guys, and also reduce greenhouse gases to stop climate change. All right, well, there you have it. That was an amazing episode, an amazing 2-year episode. Let me change that. We talked about acid rain, introduced a new segment, Eco Daily, talked about African penguins, had a great climate news. Did I talk about the Did You Know? Because we had an interesting Did You Know. And we also had a great 2-year anniversary episode, or pre-2-year anniversary. Okay, now we need an answer to the riddle. So let's hear it one more time before you submit your answers. What can never be put in a saucepan? Please submit your answers now. Just go to the comment box and you can type it up. Thank you for the congratulations, everyone. Okay, we don't see any answers yet. There's a 30-second delay on these, so you probably see a few answers right now. Yeah, the lid, okay. I did say it was an easy/hard one. So we have lid. Anyone agree? Any new answers? Yeah, okay. So I think we have another agreeing with lid. Yeah, I didn't realize it was this hard. Okay, so I will reveal the answer now. All right, the answer is, hold on, let me get the sound effect queued up. The answer is, oh, we have a pan. Okay, the answer is a lid. Oh, a lid. Yep, it's the lid. Congratulations to those who got it. Also, make sure to check out the Planet Protectors podcast now streaming wherever you get your podcast, and to become a member of Planet Protectors in the link in the bio. And remember to stay updated with the Instagram page this Thursday, January 27th, because that's the big 2-year anniversary. And just so you know, it is in advance, I'll mention this next week, but there will be no live stream on Tuesday, February the 8th, because you all probably know why. So that's it for me. I will see you next week for the first episode of February. This is the last one of January. And remember, as always, to stay eco. And also make sure to keep updated on the Instagram. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you next week. Bye!